Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nerd News. Today, if you're listening, you will be finding out about the new Pokemon 1.1 patch notes and what exactly Hasbro is doing with Magic the Gathering. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to the Nerd News Podcast, starring Tyson Cox and Tyler Waltz.
Hello, everybody. This is Tyler, and I'm here with Tyson, and today we're going to get right into the Nerd News.
Hey, how we doing, guys?
Yeah, how was your weekend, bud?
Good. Long, but good.
Right on.
Did a couple of shows.
Nice. Right on. I know we got a show tonight that's fun.
Yeah.
You guys won't be able to watch it because we record these ahead of time.
Unless you figure out time travel.
Yeah, which if you do, let us know.
Yep.
Because we would start this show sooner. But yeah, I think we're going to get right into the news today. So a couple of big things. The first one that I want to talk about is Pokemon. Mm-hmm. I know that we've been talking about Pokemon a lot lately.
Well, it's hot. It's hot right now.
It is hot right now, and it's developing in ways that Pokemon hasn't developed before. Mm-hmm. So the big news is that Nintendo actually addressed the Pokemon issue with bugs, which we talked about last week.
Yeah, so you're talking about like the clipping issue, the weird stuttering.
Yeah, general performance issues.
Yeah,
which is big. Nintendo is very notorious as not being a user-friendly company. Like they've got, Mario, and they're known for family and kids games. But when it comes to like Super Smash Brothers competitions and what users do with their content, notoriously bad. And they do not bring up problems. They don't. They're very much, if we don't talk about it, it doesn't exist, and people will forget.
It is a real family company in that aspect.
Yeah, right.
Like we're upstairs listening to them fight at the dinner table about bills.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but they 100% follow the philosophy of if we don't bring it up and we just release something new, people will forget about it and move on. Which honestly, they're not wrong.
It's been working.
It's been working, and that's just kind of how the news cycle is now.
Yeah.
If you get outraged by something and then you forget about that outrage to be upset by the next thing.
Yep. Well, it's kind of like if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's that old.
Yeah, just a very dumb excuse.
Yeah.
So Nintendo directly addressed that they are talking with the creators of Pokemon, and they are addressing the issues with the announcement of the 1.1 update patch for Pokemon.
Okay. And then do you know what's on that patch?
Nobody really does.
Oh.
Which is kind of the issue. So there's two primary patch notes. The first one was very specific. It was fixing the broken music for important battles. And this was a glitch that I actually had to deal with.
Is that where it just like loops a chunk?
No, it's not where it loops a chunk. It's where the audio cuts out or it plays the wrong music.
Okay.
Because when you're doing a gym and then inevitably they get down to their last Pokemon, they do the Terastallize, and then it cuts to that bigger, more dramatic music. There were a lot of issues where it was clipping in the wrong music.
Now I'm just imagining it's like that boom, 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 boom.
So that got fixed. And then point two, general bug fixes.
Okay.
There's a lot of them.
Yep.
We need more than the general bug fixes.
I do like how they're kind of like, well, we got it. Well, are you going to fix it? Yeah.
I think it's more along the lines of there's so many that this is probably the pre-patch to get specific patches.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's kind of how and I'm not a developer. I don't know. That's not where that's not my forte.
Yeah.
Because last week, if you guys were listening, I was defending Pokemon. I was trying really hard not to make excuses, but come from a point of understanding with what a team that is not used to doing something trying to get something done.
Yeah. And if they do this again, then it's like pure fault.
A big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and some people called out that there were some things that I was missing, and it is true. They had Sword and Shield, and that should have been the buffer game. I will 100% admit that I did not take that into perspective. I was a bit narrow-minded in thinking this is their first open world game. They had the open world area of Sword and Shield to work out a lot of these bugs.
All right, now I'm mad.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that.
We're now boycotting, and by boycotting, I mean continuing to play quietly.
Constantly. So some of my points I will stay behind in that taking the scale of an open world area to an open world game is different. That's a big reason that it feels very bland.
Yeah.
They also had Legends Arceus, which was slightly different. So yes, a lot of my defenses, I will admit after this week, falling a bit short. I still have faith in them to figure it out.
Yeah, I think they can too. Also, big of you to not pull a Nintendo and admit fault and change.
Yeah. But I think since Nintendo did bring this up, they have to.
Yeah.
Because if Nintendo is notorious for not doing something, and they're like, don't worry, guys, this will get better. It better, right? It's like if your dad doesn't really punish you much, but you always get the threat of, oh, when dad gets home, the time that dad does go, hey, it's done, you're like, okay, all right, I'll fix it. Yep. Right? So them stepping in, I think, is a big move, and I really hope that something comes out of it.
Yeah.
With the 1.1 patch, we also got the very first round of ranked battling.
Yeah, was that spoiler? Leak? No?
That wasn't the leak. They did announce that formally. They didn't announce the prizes. Because the way that ranked works for like the online servers is there's the Pokeball, Great Ball, Ultra Ball. It just ranks up depending on your win-loss ratio and stuff like that. So the leak is what the rewards are going to be if you make it to this class. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are very upset. I've got a bit of beef with that because I don't know what they can do. So I can break it down for you really quick.
Yeah, please. It seems it's real vague right now what you're saying.
Yeah. So the leak is, and this is not confirmed as of today, December 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah. As of December 4th, when we are recording this, the rewards are not confirmed. This is a data mined leak. Mm-hmm. It is a TM for 171, which is Terra Blast, the move that automatically becomes the type of your Terra type Pokemon. Mm-hmm. Very useful move. My complaint is that it's getting too lost in the weeds. I'm about to start complaining about move typing and damage typings.
Yeah, let's not
do that. Yeah. So it's the TM 171. Mm-hmm. It's 100,000 LP, the league points.
Okay.
A gold bottle cap.
What's a gold bottle cap do?
The bottle caps. It's been a thing for 2-3 generations. I can't remember. But you take a bottle cap to a hyper trainer. I don't know why they're bottle caps. But if you trade in a bottle cap and it maxes out the IV, the inherent value of the Pokemon.
Okay.
Which affects their stats. It's a 1 through 7. So your Pokemon has a 1 through 7 in attack. If it's got a 1, not going to be great. Every time it levels up, it has less of a chance to gain an attack point.
Oh, okay.
So if you have a Pokemon that's extraordinarily good with attack and it has a low IV attack, it's not as good anymore.
Yeah, I'm so lost. I have no idea. I need to do more research. I usually just level up till I get big and throw them at them.
Yeah, it's mostly for competitive. It doesn't really matter in the base game.
Yeah.
If you have a level 100 Pokemon, you're going to win.
Yeah.
But it's the difference between, 300 attack stat and 350 attack stat.
Ah, okay.
For competitive, it matters. And the Terra raids. In the Terra raids, that could be the difference between breaking the shield, killing the Pokemon, because you're just doing that much more damage multiplied by the amount of people in it. Mm-hmm. So it's very important for the high level end of the Pokemon competitive.
Yeah, so you're getting the TM, the 100,000 LP, the gold bottle cap.
Which you give a gold bottle cap and it maxes out the entire Pokemon.
Okay.
So instead of having to give a bottle cap per stat, you just get the one.
Oh, okay.
3 bottle caps, the 100,000 LP, and then I think there was one other thing that I can't remember off the top of my head. Mm-hmm. And then that's the Master Ball. That's the highest ranking stuff. And then every tier under that is just slightly less. Like the one underneath it, you still get the regular bottle caps, but not the gold. And
okay.
LP. People are complaining that the rewards aren't significant enough. And I get that, because doing raids get you bottle caps. Mm-hmm. Doing raids get you LP. Mm-hmm. The TM, is it really that big of a deal? People are highly speccing out Pokemon for specific raid battles anyway. Nobody is banking on Terra Blast for a Terastallized type.
Okay, so what were people hoping for?
That's what I don't know. Because if you have put together a team that is so good, you are in the top tier Pokemon class, what reward is going to be good for you? Because you already have everything.
Yeah.
So giving you more of what it took to get there isn't going to help.
Oh, I can see why that's upsetting.
Right?
Yeah.
So I get that. I 100%. If I put all that time and effort, which I'm putting together a competitive team for Nerd News now. Stay tuned. By the time that you're seeing this, you've probably already seen the first 2 polls that we'll be putting up. So go vote, and I'll be putting together that competitive team for Nerd News.
Thanks.
So that'll be fun. So I don't know how you would divvy out those rewards, because if you start giving the top competitors super exclusive stuff, then they are just going to be the top every time, right?
Yeah.
Like if they give them a previous generation Pokemon that just rocked everybody's world, like Garchomp is in the game, but say Garchomp wasn't. He's considered one of the best competitive Pokemon that's ever existed. If the winners got Garchomp, now they're way more likely just to win every time in the future. So it has to be some kind of reward that is good, but doesn't like, I don't know what they can do.
I think so. I agree with you on that, but you could get like titles. Like I think there's titles you can throw out on your Pokemon. And
That's where I was going to go.
Yeah.
It's because I wasn't thinking that until the new Charizard Terror Raid. Because this Charizard has a unique title called like the Mightiest or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Or Indomitable. It's something like
I'm going to Domitable them though.
Yeah. Right. I've beaten like 20.
Oh, no.
So,
oh, cool. Rub it in.
But I think titles would be excellent. So in the next competition, you throw out a Pokemon, and instead of it just saying your thing, like after you beat the game, they call you champion your name.
Yeah.
Just give titles to people, because then you're facing somebody, and it's like, oh, you got like
Season 1 champ, Master Ball champ.
Season 1 Buttfucker 3 or whatever. And it's like, oh, that guy won the first season. That's crazy.
With a very vicious move.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Most people just quit.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't. So when it comes to online competitive games, you have to find that balance between pointless rewards and something unique.
Yeah.
The more unique you go, even if it's not.
How about a shirt? Different clothing. That's something that people have been complaining about, is like the stylization choices are real low.
Yes. Yeah. Customization options, like you get a special like pair of glasses or a hat that signifies that you competed and made it to something tier. Yeah. I think all of that would be better than what I can spend an hour to earn.
Yeah.
Right. Because on average, you get a bottle cap every so many raids. So am I going to put all this time into a competitive team to get 3 bottle caps that I've already maxed out?
Yeah.
Because I have to get
compete
into that league.
Yeah.
To get 3 bottle caps, which is 3 of 5 stats.
Oh, wow. That's not even all 5.
I guess 6. It's 6 stats because speed, HP,
Yeah.
attack, special attack, defense, special defense.
Yeah. All right. But I think we're getting a little lost in the weeds, too specific on the rewards.
Okay. Yeah.
So what else is going on in that? Because I know you had a whole like a list of things.
For Pokemon?
Yeah.
That was primarily the biggest thing.
Oh, okay. So
it was the patch notes, Nintendo addressing it, and all of that kind of stuff. So we've covered pretty much everything with Pokemon. It's just where does Pokemon go from here? Because Nintendo's addressed it, and people are kind of upset with the 1.1 patch, like competitive.
Yeah.
Where does Pokemon go? Because another issue that Pokemon has with competitive is that there is official Pokemon competitive, and then there's a Smogon, which is a website dedicated to competitive, like we meet in person and play.
Oh, okay.
So all these people will put together competitive teams just to go online, and just it's nothing but banned Pokemon, or like the ones that Smogon is like, listen, these are so broken, we can't allow them in competitive because every team is going to be these 6 Pokemon. So like the balancing act of competitive Pokemon is all out of whack. I was excited for competitive Pokemon because of terastallizing. I think that as a mechanic is incredible for competitive.
Okay. I still don't fully grasp it.
Yeah, so for any of you that are playing the game and don't 100% know what terastallizing is, it changes your Pokemon's type to a pure type. And it doesn't have to be one of the types of the Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
So one Pokemon that I'm putting together now is Toxapex. Toxapex has been on my competitive team since Sun and Moon. It is a water poison type. Obviously, water and poison has a certain grouping of Pokemon that are good against it, like Psychic. Psychic's strong against poison. It's a very defensive setter Pokemon. What I can do is if I want to guarantee that my setter is a bit better, I can give him a Terra type that if somebody sends out a Psychic type, I can Terrestrialize him and make him a pure type of something that resists his weakness.
Oh, okay.
Or,
all right, that makes more sense.
Yeah. So it's like, he sent out like an Alakazam.
Yeah.
Something like that. He's going to one-shot me. I'm going to Terrestrialize into a Dark type Pokemon. Now Psychic doesn't affect me, but I have all the Dark type weaknesses now.
Yes. Okay, I got you.
So you become that type, so you get the stab move type and you gain the resistances and weaknesses. Or you can Terrestrialize into a typing that you already have, and it boosts that typing's already stab moves. So if it's a water type and you Terrestrialize into water, you're now doing double damage with stab moves and extra on top of super effectiveness.
Okay, cool.
So there's this huge dice rolling game to it, and only one Pokemon can Terrestrialize. So you have to make sure that all of them have that variable to sneak in or do something that your opponent cannot predict.
Okay, yeah, that's all right. That's cool. Cool.
But I think that's going to wrap up our Pokemon discussion.
Yeah, we're gonna be back talking about Hasbro here in just a couple of minutes. But make sure to subscribe. At the end of the episode, we're gonna read a 5-star review, which this one's a pretty good one.
Yeah, this one's a really good one. But yeah, with that, we're at the first half of our show. We'll come back here in a second with the second half, and yeah, we'll be talking about Hasbro and Magic the Gathering.
All right, we are back. Remember, guys, if you're enjoying this, to like, share, subscribe. If you leave a 5-star review, we will read it out at the end of the episode. And with that out of the way, we are going to talk about Hasbro
and Magic the Gathering.
Yeah,
specifically.
Because I have been playing for a while. Tyler's new to it. Tyler, you know a lot more of the analytical, like financial side of things, which is kind of the thing we want to talk about. Because so I'll just let you take it away.
Yeah. It's how the financial stuff is affected by, how long-time players and stuff feel. So in November, it was reported that there was about a 5% dip in Hasbro stock.
And that was just November?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot for a month.
That was what was reported in November. I don't know the ins and outs of, was that only November? Was that, because normally when they do the reportings, it's like mid-month. So it's probably October into November.
But still, like a 5% dip in a month is...
Yes.
For especially like a company that's been around forever,
for a long time. And Magic the Gathering is about 15% of Hasbro's total market. And a lot of people have been very upset. They think that dip is primarily Magic the Gathering because of everything that's going on. I don't know Magic the Gathering outside of the past 4 or 5 months. Yeah. Because that's how long I've been playing. That's when you guys got me addicted.
Yeah, I've been playing since maybe 2002.
Yeah. So before we get into the analytics and stuff like that of the numbers, how do you feel? Because apparently this change has been going on mostly this year, but ramping up since like 2017.
Yeah,
2018.
So there's a 30 years of Magic. Like chart, which we'll try to remember to throw it up. But like you can kind of see pretty steadily from 93 all the way to like 08, where they released 4 to 7 sets a year. Okay. And then in 08, and then 09, it's like 9 sets for like 3 or 4 years. And then it dips back down a little bit. But then it just, in 2017, it's like 20 sets. Like it's so much. And then this year, 2022, like almost 30 sets are coming out. Okay. Which is too much.
Well, yes and no. If all of the sets were bangers, it wouldn't really be an issue. So how do the sets feel different? Because I know normally when people double down like that, they get watered down. Yeah. So it's a ton of less consequential or better content, and it's just quantity over quality.
Yeah. So there's 2 things that they're doing that is a problem for like a longtime player. Because I still buy cards. I buy cards regularly. I buy packs. I like to pop in, support the shop. It is a good way to keep local shops open.
In the context of this conversation, we are doing a Magic the Gathering release show. Yeah. February 3rd. Yeah. So like we are still in it. Yeah. Yeah. Especially you after all this time.
Yeah. Like I've ebbs and flow. I've played, sold, bought back in, stuff like that. But the things that they're doing that are it's not making it feel like Magic anymore. Okay. They're doing big crossover events, which sometimes it's fine. Secret Lair cards, like, these are, Godzilla cards. Like they're more and more rare. But this year they're doing Transformers and Fortnite and 40K.
Fortnite just came off the tongue gross.
Yeah, it feels
like bleh. Like what is it?
Which is it's fine to want to get new players, but by changing it so dramatically, it feels like you're betraying your core base.
Yeah, it's you're running full speed and you don't know there's a leash on. So like, ooh, this is fun. Fortnite, what the hell?
Yeah.
Because I mean, arguably, I wouldn't have gotten into Magic the Gathering as much as I did if it wasn't for the Secret Lair Godzilla cards.
True.
Because I was skeptical. I was like, I don't really want to spend money on a game that I don't think I'm going to play that much. And then Brian, that sneaky son of a bitch, comes over and is like, hey, did you know that Secret Lair did Godzilla? And I was like, I that day spent $22 on Secret Lair Godzilla cards. And now I have a dinosaur deck.
Yep.
So it's cool. It does work. It worked on me.
Yeah. But Godzilla can still fit the theme a bit better. So
Fortnite.
That's the two things. So the theme of it is Warhammer fits because Magic the Gathering it used to be a much more grittier, dirtier place. The art used to be like creepy, and unpolished, which is really like that's like way back in the day. I know you get more money, you get better artists, you clean up a bit, which is fine. Which there are some beautiful cards. Not saying that, but then you get to the point where you're like doing Fortnite. I don't know why I almost cried on that. Fortnite, and then they're also doing the Unfinity set, which is clearly marketed to children.
A lot of complaints on that one.
And you're supposed to put stickers on your cards, which
that's goofy.
Bothers me.
Yeah,
because Magic has that thing that is huge resell.
Yeah,
because they do keep rarity in it and collectability. But by releasing so many sets, having it be goofy or whimsical sets kind of devalues the feel and the collectability because you can't. So you said it would be fine to release a bunch of sets. Well, I can't afford that. Players can't afford that. Some can.
Well, yes, but that can also add collectability because if you can't afford to get everything, what people do buy, it's going to get nitpicky and there's going to be like, oh, this one that I didn't buy has this other card that really fits well in another set. And you can get a lot of that crossover stuff. Yeah. It's how they're doing it that seems like it's the issue because the primary source of their income from Magic the Gathering were the commander decks and the boxes. So people are buying boxes. They're not buying boosters. They're not buying the draft decks.
And they made that more confusing as well.
They did.
So Commander is great. It's been my preferred format to play. It's fun. But the decks are coming out pretty set. They're pretty good. Changed 3 or 4 cards, add some staples.
Me, you, and Brian were playing, and he had he literally opened the box and then
it was one of mine. Yeah, it wasn't even like one he picked out. It was one
true.
It was an extra deck I had.
Yeah,
and he beat us both.
And I'm still new. I don't have the most spec'd out.
Yeah,
but you have a very to the nines. I've built this deck.
Yeah, it's not like tier 0 or tier 1 or whatever, but it's like tier 4, 3, 4. It's pretty good.
You did research and you looked at what was fun, what you could play, and what would work together.
Yeah, what I like elves, and I want to beat my brother-in-law. Yeah. So those are the two things. It's like I got to figure this out.
But he literally opened a prefab deck and was like, boop, and beat us both.
Yeah, handily too.
Yeah. It wasn't even close. It was just, I don't know if it was a luck of the draw. I don't know.
I mean, a bit of that, but it's also strategy.
Yeah, but the fact that you can do that
is great.
Yeah, I can go spend $60, what used to cost me, I don't know how much.
Well, so it depends how you want to do your buying, which is another thing that with all these sets being released, I need to do research on the quote unquote competitive side of it because you used to only be able to play X amount of sets back.
Okay.
I don't know if it's X amount of time or X amount of sets, but it makes it harder to build a competitive deck because just like with Pokemon, you kind of know what's coming out, who might be in there, so you can build counters and know what you're doing. But it does get stale in that aspect. So it might help. It might help competitive if they have it within a time window. So you have all of these different varieties that might be doing good. Because I remember I was playing, it was like you had to have a fetch card, you had your sword, and you had this other thing. These 3 cards, and you did it, and you won. And it was everyone was playing that deck against that deck.
That sounds rough. That sounds awful.
Yeah, horrible. That's why I played HeroClix instead.
Yeah. But, so back to the financials and stuff. Because of these factors that we're talking about, making it goofier, catering it to more, just having too much, people are just buying a box, and then they'll switch out a couple cards, and then that's it.
Which you can just buy the cards on retailers online or at your local shop.
Yep. Which is another factor in it because it's these box sets are actually hurting local card shops a lot as well, because people are buying box sets. People aren't really turning in cards anymore. Like you used to buy a booster because you're trying to build this great deck. You would turn in some cards, get some money back, buy more cards from the shop. And it was just this constant like ladder stepping that's not really happening anymore. Because I know some card shops that we've talked to, they would say that they would order an extra, like, what's the big box that comes with a ton of boosters?
Booster box.
Oh, okay. Just a booster box.
Yeah.
They would order an extra one for their inventory, open every single one, display the cards out, and now they've itemized, and they're probably going to get something less valuable now, because there was the booster, or not the booster, the commander deck that I was thinking about buying was the Calamax deck, because it was a red, green, blue, primarily dinosaur deck that focused in spellcasting. Thought that was really neat. That $60 booster deck, I can buy it and sell one card for $53. It's a guaranteed $53 valued card.
Yeah.
In that booster.
If you find someone to buy it, it's that kind of thing. You can sell it to online stuff for not as much, but yeah.
Correct. But you've already mitigated the cost of that deck if you want, and you can use that to piece together other things. They're killing the secondary market with all the prints. Because now, reportedly, they're not only doubling down on the amount, but the amount of individual cards that are getting made is much higher as well. So Mythic doesn't mean as much.
Oh, okay.
So, right, like if you know a good commander's out there, if like one of the top 10 commanders is a booster or a commander deck that's being sold, why would you take the chance of pulling that commander in a booster pack? You're going to buy that commander and piece stuff together.
Yeah.
They've completely taken out the incentive to buy booster packs, really.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
And the resale value on things is going way down. Apparently, there's been a record increase in collectors liquidating just their entire extra card sets and stuff.
Wow.
Because the value is going down.
Oh, okay. So this is the 2008 market crash.
For Magic the Gathering. They're noticing a trend where Magic the Gathering cards that were going up and up and up and up and up are now on the steady decline because of reprints, because the same card is now in a different set in a slightly different way, or it costs one more mana or one less mana. So the value of the resale market is going to zip. It's not good right now. So local card shops are pushing back. It's the spiraling cascade of they're doing too much.
Yeah, and speaking of
substantial,
like less collectability, and it feels like they are doing a lot of things that are just like shots in the dark.
Yes.
Because they're having that 30th anniversary pack.
Talk about a horrible idea.
Yeah, so it's $1,000 for 3 packs, right?
5 packs?
I thought it was 3 packs.
It might be 3. I'm not sure. Regardless, too much. Way too much.
Well, here's the real rub too. It's 30th anniversary. It is old cards that you can't play anyways.
Okay.
But the back.
30th anniversary, cool.
Yeah.
Old cards you can't get anymore, also a neat idea. I'm sure a lot of people would love that.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
So sorry, I was trying to read up a thing. So it's, but then it's $1,000.
Hold up.
Yep.
It's like, whoa.
You don't know what you're getting in there.
Yep.
The backing is, you can't use it because the backing is different.
Yep.
So you can't use it in competitive. I think you can use it either way, but so it's not a collectible thing.
Right.
Because it's not the old one.
Yep.
It's now a reprint. You can't use it.
Yep.
You can't even like brag about it either, really, because you're like, I have one, but it was the reprint.
Yeah.
So it's like almost forced collectability.
It's pointless. Yeah. It's arbitrary. There's nothing of meaning behind it other than the fact that Hasbro is saying it's worth this much money.
Yeah.
So it really just misses the mark, you know? And I don't know how you would fix that.
4 booster packs, 15 cards each, 13 modern framed reprints of beta cards with 2 retro framed treatment and 1 basic land. And 1 more random card.
Cool. So
$1,000.
Here's the thing. That sounds neat. Before you hear the dollar amount.
Yeah.
That sounds neat. If it was a thing where it's like, you know, Black Lotus, that's the one that everybody knows.
Yeah.
If you could get a reprint that looks just to have as like this is a rare card. I like Magic the Gathering. It's a little keepsake thingy I have because I like the game.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'd pay $5 for that. I'd pay $10 for a set like that.
I bought a proxy on a Proxy King.
Yeah, because it's
legitimate.
cool.
Looks shiny foil and everything. It looks legitimate.
And it's fun. $1,000 for something that isn't competitively viable, actually collectible, or worth anything because it doesn't mean anything to anybody other than it's there.
Yeah, like what is it?
I want to know how they got to that price point. Like, how can they justify that amount? Because it logically, from a marketing, accounting, it doesn't make sense. So there's nothing that would get you there.
My guess is they're not trying to appeal to 95% of the player base
Anymore.
They're trying to get 5% of the people to spend 100 times the amount.
Yep. Now, it's funny that you mentioned that because that's what happens with mobile games. A lot of people were talking about how they're now doing a mobile game market for Magic the Gathering. Because if they can get 10 people to spend $1,000, it doesn't really matter that 100 people spent $5.
Yeah, because the profit on that is the margins are way better because they're not actually producing a physical thing.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, somebody's going to buy that $1,000 thing.
Yeah, and you can't recycle it either on the online stuff.
Yeah,
like it's just in your bop. It's in there.
Yeah, because the market trends, the fact that they're doing that, I think the average lifespan of a mobile game is 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
So a lot of people are like, if they're employing these tactics, are they recognizing that Magic the Gathering is dying and they're getting the most out of it in these 3 to 5 years with these money practices?
It feels like that.
And it makes sense. It makes a whole lot of sense.
Which
it's kind of sad.
It is sad because it's been around for 30 years. It's a staple of nerdism.
And
like
it'll always be around to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Like, there will always be people playing Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
It's just whether new stuff is coming out or not.
So my guess what happens if Magic crashes, Hasbro's like, we can't do anymore. We're done. Maybe another company picks it up, does it over, or it'll be like aftermarket because there's like Cards Against Humanity sets that are not through them.
Okay.
So they because it's just make a card with words on it. So it's just, hey, we know the tenements of Magic.
Yeah.
We're huge fans of Magic. We can make other classic good cards.
That's true. You could, as long as you know how the mana system works, you know how effects work, like Death Touch and then.
Yeah. There's already subreddits that have like custom Magic.
So my non-corporate or my what's a good way to put this? I'm not a big fan of like regulation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks the game would get much better if it was decentralized and just spread out amongst people that love the game.
Yes.
They're the ones that know the mechanics.
Yeah, but it would also be Magic the Gathering players making Magic the Gathering cards.
Yeah, so somebody's going to come in with like a Joe loses because fuck him.
Yeah. Actually,
blue 1 mana.
0 mana card.
But
this one's just tits.
Yeah, right.
What is it?
It's a blue. It's a counter spell.
It's tits.
You can't play horny.
Just casually horny.
But yeah, anything else you want to chat about with Magic? I mean, we kind of covered most of the things.
Yeah, I think we covered everything. I hope it recovers, but right now it feels that they're just trying to get as much out of it as they can.
Yeah, and
let us know what you guys think about it, especially about the would you buy the $1,000 4-pack?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Like it's insane. The funny thing is there's a bunch of Magic the Gathering like YouTubers and stuff like that are going through and they're like, look, I'm going to buy that pack.
Yeah,
and I'm going to open it in front of you guys, and we're either gonna expose how ridiculous this is, and like it's kind of like they're preempting a hit piece on it, which is never good.
Ooh, not good.
It's never good.
And also, but if you're a Magic the Gathering YouTuber, you have to do this.
You have to.
Because it's your job.
Yep.
It's literally your job. You need to do it for the poors such as I who will not do this.
Right. Yeah. They can't do this.
Yeah. I could make some bad choices.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for us this week, right?
Yeah, I think that's it for this week. So go ahead and like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, and if you leave a 5-star review, we'll read it on air.
We will.
Such as this 5-star review that we're pulling up right meow.
Yeah.
All right, this is a review from Funny Guy. Thank you, Funny Guy. Nerdgasm. It's so fun to listen to Tyson and Tyler cream their Deadpool-themed undergarments when they talk about the nerdy news. Every episode is like listening to two mid vinegar strokes with excitement.
I don't even know what that means.
I will tell you later. I only get my nerd news from them. It's a really great show, and I'm glad they get to do this out in the open instead of getting stuffed into lockers for what they love. What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
Whether you're a neck beard or just a regular old dungeon head, they have something for every dweebery.
And we do.
Yeah, thank you, funny guy. And remember, guys, if you leave a review, we will read it. 5-star review, we'll read it on the air, as long as it's not something that will get us murdered.
Or canceled.
Or arrested.
But yeah, we want to thank you all so much. We really appreciate each and every one of you. We don't have any advertising. You guys are our advertising. So let us know what you think. We really want to improve the show. So if you liked us, give us a like. If you have any comments, recommendations, leave a comment or a review. And thank you all so much. We'll see you next time.